Okay, so hey guys, good morning. So this is the first session of 2022 batch, okay, Feb batch, and myself, I'm Nikhila. So let me start with a quick introduction about myself. So myself, Nikhila, I have 15 years of expertise in Pega, and I have been into this training since 2011. So I do corporate trainings, I do live online trainings. Okay, I am a corporate trainer for various companies in India and out of India as well. So I travel and I deliver 5-day training programs, 7-day training programs, and sometimes more than that. And I'm still working as a developer in one of the organizations. I mean, I still do coding, developer in the sense I still do coding. Okay, my role is different, but I'm still involved in the coding part. Okay, and this is about myself. And I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining for the session. I mean it because you believed in my expertise, you believed in me, and you have enrolled for this training. So I'm grateful for that. And I wish, down the lane, you should be able to hear me. Okay. Down the lane after 3 months, I wish you all get, you you feel that you took the right decision in joining the training. Okay. I wish that will happen. Now, before we start the training, I would like to introduce the rest of the people in the training as well to each of you. So I'm not going to introduce you with a name or their location or something. I want to tell you what type of people are there in the training, and so that it motivates you, and also it'll make you understand why you have to be more consistent and dedicated for this training. Okay, because so far you only did two steps towards learning. One, you attended the demo. Two, you enrolled for the training. Now here the journey starts. Okay, we are all going to travel together for the next 3 months. I'm going to drive you to the destination. So I don't want any one of you to drop in between or to skip the live classes just relying on the recordings. Don't do such things. Okay, just relying on the recordings, trust me, they will be there in the system. They will never get into your brain. Okay, so please do not rely on the recordings. Don't skip the live sessions. The best part with live session is, it is more interactive. Okay, and I keep pushing you to submit me the tasks. I keep pushing you to do some assignments. Okay, so there will be consistency. Okay, you will be throughout the 3 months journey program with me, and we make sure that you reach your destinations and you reach your goals. Okay. So I wanted to introduce each one of you to others, right? So as I told you, I'm not going to ask you to introduce yourselves. I'm going to tell about some of the people in the training. So there are people, okay, who are coming from marketing background, which means they're completely non-IT. Okay. There are people who are students, okay, who are just pass outs or who are like last year pass outs. There are people who are ladies who are coming back from a maternity leave a long back. They took a leave and now they are coming like years and years they are off. Okay. There are people who are already working on Pega and just looking for more expertise on Pega. There are people who are just managers in a bank, which means they are non-IT. There are people who are coming from a sales background. Okay. There are few people who are lecturers in the colleges. Okay, there are people who are still dependent on their parents and who have paid fee on behalf of them. So this way, just look at the requirement you guys have. Okay, so most of you, your fees is paid by some of your loved ones for you. Okay, so I want to remind you that they have given their hard earned money to make you learn something new, and I have that in my mind, so I take this as a responsibility to drive you to the destination. Similarly, I want you people to be more dedicated, and I want you to have this consistency of attending live training towards the 3 months training program. Okay, so I just want to tell you that everybody here has a different story. Okay, some of them are IT, some of them are non-IT, some of them are working on Pega, some of them are new to Pega. So my training aims at covering every single person. So from the very basic level to the complete advanced level we are going to train you. Okay, from what is Pega till the end of integrations we are going to do this. Okay, so I just want you to remind that what is the importance for each one of you and not to drop off in between the training. Okay, so when I train you, I keep all your stories in my mind. So who paid for you? Why are you joining this? Okay, what is the importance of this training for you? What is the importance of grabbing a job, for your financial situation? I keep all these things in mind when I train you people. Similarly, I want you people to have that in your mind and do not skip the classes and do not drop off in between. Okay, now coming to the training, let me give you a quick introduction about the training as well. This is going to be a 2.5 to 3 months training program where I'll be training you on the concepts of CSA and CSSA. CSA and CSSA are two certifications in Pega. CSA being the junior level certification and SSA being the senior level certification. Then you have LSA, which is lead level certification. So our training is for CSA and SSA. Okay, so it's like 5 to 6 years of expertise in Pega. Whatever they do in day-to-day life, that is what I'm going to train you in this training. So we will be having sessions on every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Wednesday morning 7 to 9, Saturday, Sunday 7 to 10. Yes, first three sessions timings are slightly different. We will be doing 8 to 10 because first 3 to 4 sessions will have a lot of theory. Okay, so I don't want to bore you guys with a lot of theory, so only 2 hours. Okay, from the fourth session, we will start with 7 to 10 because there will be practical from the fourth session. So practical don't bore you much, it will be exciting. Okay, so we can do 3 hours and we'll have a break of 10 minutes in between so that you can just relax and just come back. And every day after the session, recordings as well as running notes will be shared with you. Okay, so these 3 days in the training, only I am going to do something in the training. You're just going to sit and watch. Of course, sometimes I'll give you some, like a small test. I'll give you a task, I'll give you some time, I'll ask you people to do, I'll get on a screen share and I'll check whether you have done it or not. And rest of the 4 days, you're going to work on a different project. So one project I'm going to teach you in the session. Second project I'm going to give you as a task or assignment. Every weekend you have to submit me both the project screenshots. I'm going to maintain an Excel of the task assigned and the people who submitted. So for those of you who did not submit, I'm going to push you till you submit. Okay. So we try to make sure that you are on track and you are just working on the assignments so that you get the proper hands-on experience. And complete interview coaching is going to be given to you on the same day when a specific topic is being taught to you. So I explain you all the interview questions which are being asked on that topic in the market. Okay, so this is going to give you a proper interview, learning for you. Okay, so this is about the training that we are going to do. Any questions so far, guys?
Nikhila, about certifications.
Yeah. So certification, I request you people to start writing now. Yeah, it might be weird. We don't know Pega, and how come you're asking me to write a certification? Thing is like, this is a bad thing in the market. People don't even consider your resume if you're not certified. You may be very good at Pega, you are really knowledgeable, but still the recruitment team looks only at the certificates. Yeah, that's a bad thing. But so that is the reason we are asking you to first write your certification. So how can we write a certification without knowledge? There are a lot of background ways to do it, right? There are proxy people available, there are dumps available in the market. Okay, you can reach out to me offline. I can guide you on that. You can get yourself certified. So why am I asking you to get certified now? Because some recruiters look at the date and the year that you were certified. Okay, so if you go to pdn.com or just type pdn pega in Google, you'll find a website. Okay, in that website, if you give your first name and last name, they will tell you what all certifications you have. So with this, recruitment team will ask you, hey, you're not certified, so we can't pick your resume. Or they will say, you were just recently certified. How come you have 2 years or 5 years of expertise in Pega? So these kind of questions you can expect. Okay, so better write your certification as early as possible so that by the time you start looking for a job, you will have a past dated certificates available. Now, maybe after 3 months from now, you will start your job search, right? So recruiter might ask you, how come you're certified in the very recent past? And you're saying like you have 3 years or four years of expertise in Pega. So many people ask me this question. Hey, my answer to this is not every recruiter is going to ask this question. Okay, like you're certified in the recent part. Not everyone is going to do that, guys. Okay, only few companies ask that question. Okay, so 50% won't even ask you that question, so forget about that. Now, how about the 50% who ask this question? How do you answer them? So just tell them that I was just cross-tooled in my company, or I was just trained in my company. Okay. And when they asked me to write the certification, I just told my manager that I want to learn first. Only after learning, I want to give my certification. So it took me 2 years or 2.5 years to get to a comfort level in Pega. So now I gave my certification. I didn't want to blindly go and write the certification without grabbing the required knowledge. So I was able to convince my management, and that's the reason I wrote it in the recent past. Okay, this is how you can answer them, and just tell them that certificate is just a proof. Okay, and it doesn't actually represent the entire knowledge which I hold on Pega, right? So to understand that, maybe I should be given a chance to attend the interview and then decide. So you can give some such statements to convince them so that they at least schedule an interview for you. Okay, just tell them I hold the required knowledge. I didn't want to get certified, before holding the knowledge. So I was able to convince my management. Okay, so this is how you can, convince yourself with your recruiters. And again, even after giving such kind of statements, if you don't perform well in the interviews, just think what your recruiter will say. You said you took 2 years time to learn Pega and then write a certificate. And if so please make sure you are prepared well for the interviews before you make these kind of, statements to the recruiters. Guys, please text me. Don't text everyone and spam it. Okay, if you have any questions to me, please put it to me only. If it's a question to the group, you think it's useful to the group, keep it to everyone. In the chat box, you have an option only to the trainer, you can send it. Revati, I will share you the recording. You can watch it because you were late by 15 minutes. It is difficult for us to recap. Okay, Keshav, you can reach out to me offline. We will talk about that. Certification cost, it's 14,000 odd. Okay, Indian rupees. So that is a certification cost, and you can book your certification from psnview.com. You can book it either to write from home, or you can just go to a center and you can give your exam. Keshav, if you can just text me in person, okay? Whatever questions you have, please send me. I understood that you are about to join and you have something to discuss. Okay, this is like one-on-one. Let's discuss offline, both of us. Okay, so let's keep a pause to the questions here, guys. Let's start with the next thing. So before we start our training on Pega, okay, yeah, I see your questions in the chat. Please pause it, guys, because whenever you put a question in the chat, my eyes get distracted. Okay, because a pop-up comes. Please pause your questions. We'll again start with the questionnaire in the next 15 minutes. Okay, uh, let's not distract each other. Now, before we start our training, I want you to understand what are you trying to do, why are you trying to do, and what is the use of this and all that. Okay. So there are many people who ask me what is the lifespan of Pega, companies using Pega, capabilities, competitors. So there are many questions, right? So before we start learning Pega, let's understand all these things. Okay. So we are planning to learn something new. Why don't we learn a few things about that, like, how long it is going to sustain, what are the opportunities I have, XYZ stuff. Then we'll start learning Pega. Okay. So what is the lifespan of Pega? See, I can't 100% say that, but I have few metrics that I use to decide what is the lifespan. Okay, so the metrics that I follow is, I see what are the list of companies using Pega, I see what are the capabilities of Pega. So these two things are going to tell me how long Pega is going to stay in the market. Okay, so I have some links open for you to see what are the list of companies using Pega. Okay, you can see here it's an old article, but in that time you can see there are 662 companies using Pega, which is a good count, right? I don't think we are going to shift more than 10 to 15 companies in your entire IT career. So there is a big plate of opportunities for us. 662 a long time back, okay, which is a good list. So if this many companies are trusting Pega and building their projects on Pega, can't we work on Pega for at least 15 to 20 years? So you can see at least 2 decades or at least 1 decade of life on Pega, right? Which is a good choice, right? Now, look at this list. Maybe you will find some of your dream companies here. So look at this list of companies. This one. I worked for Alir. Okay. So I worked for Anthem. I'm a corporate trainer for Bank of America for more than 13 years. Okay. You can see many of your dream companies are here. Okay. Just go through it later on. So just showing you, because you want to all these things, right? So this is, see, PayPal. It's a good company, right? There's a good list. Okay. So you can see there are a hell lot of opportunities on Pega. There are a lot of good companies using Pega. So which shows your lifespan of Pega, right? At least 10 years, 20 years, 15 years, you see. So that's fine. Then it's a good choice to take Pega. Certifications in Pega, I have already told you, we have CSA, WSA, and LSA. CSA is a basic level certification, junior level. WSA, like once you get like 4 or 5 years of experience, give WSA, followed by LSA. Now, for attending an interview, should I be CSA certified or WSA certified? Go with the flow in the market, guys. So if you're getting good number of calls with CSA certification, fine. If the calls are too less for CSA, go write WSA. Okay, based on the requirement in the market, go with the certifications. Now, what are the competitors of Pega? Okay, so we have few competitors for Pega, but they are like little far away from us. Like we have IBM, BPM, Appian. These are the competitors of Pega, but they are way behind Pega. Okay, so we are ruling the market, and no doubt about it. Now, what are the team sizes in Pega, roles in a project, responsibilities, day-to-day life of a developer? I want to give you a just quick intro to these things before we start learning about Pega. So, team size in a Pega project. It always depends on the company and the project you are working. So I have worked in projects where there is only one developer. Means such a small project it is. Small project. I was the only developer in the project. I have to do everything. I have to do coding. I have to do deployment. I have to play the admin role. I have to play the DB role. I was doing everything. Okay. But generally team sizes in Pega vary between 7 to 20. Maximum 20. Okay. So it depends on the size of your project. Now, what are the various teams in a Pega project? So there can be different roles in a Pega project, guys. Like we'll have developers, okay? We will have testers. We will have project managers. Okay, we will have business analysts, we will have scrum masters. Okay, so generally these are the roles in the Pega project. What is a developer going to do? He's going to do the coding for us. Testers, they're going to test the code. They're going to check, did you code properly or not? Are there any defects or not? Project managers, who are involved in the timelines and everything, so delivery and all, they'll take care. BA, who is going to talk to the end customer and get you the requirement. Scrum masters, will talk about it. Okay, so we'll talk about agile and scrum later, then I'll talk about scrum masters. So generally these are the roles in a Pega project, and all together we are generally a size of 7 to 20 maximum, not more than that. Okay, now responsibilities in a project, I just told you what each of us will do. Day-to-day life of a developer. See, how we work in real time is, uh, generally we have two different types of methodologies for working. Okay, most of us are into agile. Okay, some of us are into waterfall and implementation and all. I'll talk more about agile because 80% of us are working in agile only in real time. Okay, agile is basically a methodology, means how we should work, how we should deploy, when you should deliver. It's a form of it's a process. Okay, so in agile how we work is, we have sprints. A sprint can be of 2 weeks or 4 weeks. Okay, so let's say we have 2 week sprint. Yeah, for you people it might be new, like what is sprint and all these things. 2 weeks means you have to deliver a requirement within 2 weeks. Okay, so your lead is going to give a task to you. Within 2 weeks you have to complete it. Okay, so let's say that they gave you a task this Monday. Monday a task is assigned to you. Okay, and you have 2 weeks time to complete it. Okay, so how a day starts is, we start with a scrum call. Okay, or let's say for example a scrum call can be in the morning or in the evening. What is a scrum call? Scrum call means it's a call where we give updates on the task progress for that day. So we tell them that, hey, today this task is assigned to me. I completed it 10%, 20%, 30%. This is what I have done. This is what is pending. I'm trying to complete it by Friday end of the day or Thursday end of the day. So every day we will have a scrum call. Okay, it can be in the morning, it can be in the evening. It depends on your team. Okay, most of the times we have in the evening, so that whole day you will work, and the evening you will give an update to the entire team, like what you have completed so far. Okay, now is this 2 weeks time only for you to complete the task? No, this 2 weeks time is for you plus your tester as well. So within first 1 week you have to complete the development. Next 1 week is for the testers to validate your code. Okay, so generally how a life of a developer starts is, every Monday we will be given a task. Every evening we will have a scrum call with your team. You will tell them the updates. Within 2 weeks you and your testers have to complete that and give it to the next team or next environment. Okay, so that is how we work in real time. Now how do you get a requirement? Who is going to give you the requirements? Your lead is going to give you the requirement. Where are they going to write the requirements? We have some tools like Jira, Rally. We have some tools. I'm going to show you the tools. So in that tools, they will write down the requirement. Okay, we want a screen where there should be a box for login and there should be a box for password and there should be a button called as login. So they give you a requirement like this. You have to develop it. You have to then give it to the testers. They will test it. Then you will deploy it to the next environment. Okay, and every day you will have a call where you're going to give the updates to the entire team. Okay, so in detail I'll explain you down the lane, just giving you at a high level. So any questions so far, guys?
Nikhila,
Yeah, please.
what is the duration between CSA and CWSA between?
There's nothing like that. You can write on the same day also, but it's better if you give a gap. so that recruiters will not get any doubt on you.
So what is the minimum gap?
Nothing, you can write on the same day as I told you.
Is it fine to consider?
That's what I'm saying. Don't write that way because recruiters will not be happy with that, right? How come you wrote on the same day? It might be a little doubtful. So give a week gap and write it.
Yeah. Okay, sure, sure.
I
Nikhila,
have some,
forward
yeah,
here. I mean,
yeah, please tell.
what kind of tools we are using here?
So we are using tools like Rally, Jira, ALM for requirements and defects. So I'll show you the tools. Okay, I'll show you the tools when we start doing the practical. I'll give you requirements in Jira, so you can have a look at them. I'll also explain you we have something called as story points and all. The story points is just to estimate how complex the story is. So all this slowly I will tell you.
Nikhila,
Okay.
Jira is a
So somebody is asking me, can you give examples of tasks assigned? It's nothing but requirement, Venu. So as we keep working on the practical part, I'll give you the same way, like how we get in real time. Okay, same task I'll be giving you. So who will give requirement to the lead? Your Scrum Master and your project managers and your BAs all together are going to create the requirements. Okay, so how and what I'll explain you as we keep moving towards the practical part.
Nikhila Suresh here.
So somebody is asking me, is there any criteria to get CWC certified? Like we should have so many years of experience like that. Nothing, guys. You can go and write. But ideally, if you have 5 years of expertise in Pega, then we expect you to be a WSA certified person. Okay. But right now the market is not like that. Only if you're certified, they pick you. So just go and get your certifications done. Does freshers have opening on Pega? Not always. Okay, you can see 20 to 30% of openings for freshers, but not as much as for the you know experienced people. Recently, Capgemini, I think Capgemini hired Pega freshers. Okay, here and there are hiring because now Pega is a subject in the universities. Okay, so people are hiring Pega freshers. They started hiring, but not in full-fledged yet. Yes, all the technical words are going to be taught to you. Okay. On the first day, who is going to assign a task to us? Your lead is going to assign the task. Okay. In the beginning of every sprint means I told you that 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, you have to complete coding, they have to complete testing. So in the beginning of the sprint, your lead is going to assign the task to you. And who is going to create the tasks? I mean, like who is going to create the requirements? Your um, Scrum Master and your BAs are together going to do that part. Actually, BAs are supposed to create the requirements. They will do that. Okay. So BA creates a requirement or a story in the tool called as ALM or Rally. Now that is giving to your lead. Lead will start assigning to you people.
And Nikhila,
Yeah, please tell me.
so does Pega have its own project management tool like Jira
It
inbuilt,
has it, but we are
or
not using it. Thing is, we are not using it. Pega also, like from 8.x, they started giving agile board within the Pega tool itself, so that you can draft your requirements and user stories over there.
Nikhila.
But people are not using
okay,
it yet because it's not
okay,
flexible and it's not as good as ALM and Rally. It doesn't have all the features which ALM and Rally provide us, so we are not using it.
okay. So this Pega tool is integrated with Jira, or do we
No, they are
use it
not
separate?
integrated. Within the Pega tool itself, they gave some space to write down requirements and defects and everything. I'll show you
Okay,
when we start working on the tool. Okay, there is a space in the Pega tool where you can write down all those things, but nobody is still using it except some very small companies, where the employee count is less than 100. Only those people are using it. Big MNCs, they are only using ALMs and Rally and Jira and all these things.
Got it. Thank you.
Nikhila,
Yeah, Pramod.
2 weeks time, is it fixed, Nikhila? Like for every task, is it two
Okay,
weeks
so we
time?
have 2 week sprint, we have 3 week sprint, we have 4 week sprint. This is fixed. Okay, 2, 3, 4 weeks mandatory, not more than that, not less than this. Okay, so based on the team
Okay.
and the project and the complexity of the requirement, people decide the timelines. Who will decide it? Your lead as well as your scrum master and your BAs are going to decide that, whether this is a 2 week sprint or 3 week sprint or a 4 week sprint. But most of us go for 2 weeks and 3 weeks on it. Generally, we don't do 4 week sprints.
Okay. Actually, I'm working on waterfall model, Nikhila. So
Okay.
in Agile, in waterfall model, if we have any doubts, then we get back to BA, so the time will extend, right? Like
Right,
in
right.
waterfall. So what about in Agile? Like suppose I started and if I have any doubt, then if 2 weeks is fixed, then
See, we
is there a
have
chance to
scrum calls
extend
every
it?
day, right? This scrum call is going to be attended by all of these people. Everyone will be a part of the scrum call. So if you have any queries, you can ask to your BA. Okay. And if you're not able to do it within 2 weeks, that's okay. They push it to the next sprint. They push it to the next sprint.
Okay.
Okay. So then we call it as backlogs or carry forwarded. So that's fine.
Okay. Okay, Nikhila, thank you.
Okay. I have a question in the chat. Let me
Nikhila?
ask. Yeah, please.
Yeah, this is Shoaib here. I see Pega getting updated every year. So learning Pega now, like down the lane after 5, 6 years, if it gets updated to the newer versions. So will there be any change? Do we have to keep learning, or
You
we just
have to keep
continue
learning.
with the
That's
same
quite
what we learned
common.
5 years back?
See, one thing, it's just like you used Windows XP, then you're using Windows some latest versions, right? The same way it goes.
Yeah.
Not everything is going to change, right? Here and there, they'll come up with some enhancements. That is no big deal in learning. You're already working on Pega. Slight enhancements are fine. We will be learning them. See, companies provide specific
Okay.
trainings for us to learn the enhancements because we are upgrading our projects, right? When we upgrade the projects, if you don't
Yeah.
have knowledge on the new features, how can I upgrade? So they provide specific trainings for us only for the upgrade process. Okay, so we learn and we work. It's common, yeah, that's quite common. We do it. No big deal in that.
Okay. So the certifications will also be valid.
Certifications are always valid. If you even write your certification in Pega 6, still it is valid. But why do you get certified in 7, 8, and so on is just because you want to prove that you're up to date in the market. Okay.
Oh,
When I'm
okay.
switching my
Makes
company, if
sense.
I still have my certificate in Pega 6, they'll ask me, are you not certified on 8? We are looking for developers on 8. So that is the reason we just get certified
Mm.
to show proof that I'm updated. That's it. Otherwise, there is no expiry. Once you are CWSA or LSA certified, you are an LSA. You need not rewrite it every year.
Got it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Now, please pause your questions. I would like to answer the questions in the chat and then we will take here. So, what projects in specific we are going to cover in the course? So, one is healthcare and one is banking. Banking project is related to claims processing. Fraud and non-fraud claims processing means whenever, let's say, for example, you went to an ATM, you have drawn the money did not dispatch, but you got a message like it's deducted. So you call to the customer care and you claim a complaint, right? So that is claims processing. That is related. That project is what we are going to do. These kind of issues, like you went to a shopping mall, you scanned some code and you made the payment. It was not deducted due to some network issue. Again, you did it. It was now deducted twice. So you call the customer support and you try to get the money back. So all this kind of fraud and non-fraud claims we are going to process. That is banking project. Second one is health insurance. It is related to prior authorization approval. Suppose you have an insurance. Okay, you're going to get some surgery done. Now you go to the hospital and you tell them I'm going to get the insurance. So before the surgery, this hospital team will submit a request to the insurance company. Then the insurance company may or may not approve it. Okay, this process is called as prior authorization for the insurance. So this project is the second project which we are going to do. Both are real-time projects which I have worked in my entire career. Okay, so that complete real-time exposure is what you're going to get in the training. So the best part is you will also get to know the real-time terminologies. Okay, so project terminologies are different. Like we don't say medicines, we say drugs. We don't say patients, we say members. We don't say doctors, we say providers. So all these terminologies also you're going to learn, which is going to help you in a longer run when you attend your interviews and all. Okay, and there is somebody who is asking me, can I give 5 years experience? I suggest you not to keep more than 3 years, guys, because you will not be able to clear the interviews. Okay, so if you are that good, okay, keep 5 years, but I suggest maximum 3 years. The rest is in your hands. Based on your capability, you can do that. So somebody is asking me, they have 10 years of expertise in Pega, and is it good to switch to Pega now? See, this it is continuous learning and getting cross-tooled in IT is quite common, right? Even if I have 20 years of experience, maybe I will learn something new and I'll change myself, because we have to go with the demand in the market. If you want to earn more, you have to go with the tools which are having good demand in the market, right? So no big deal. Even if you have 10 years or 15 years, it's quite common. There are people in the training, who are managers, who have like 20, 25 years of experience also, but they are learning Pega because they have to talk to clients and they have to talk to BAs and Pega terminologies. So this is common for us, guys. Okay, 10 years, 15 years, we have nothing to do with the experience. Do you want to be updated in the market? Do you want to earn more? Then you have to learn, no question about it, right? To get more calls, how much experience you can. It's not about getting more calls, guys. It's all about, can you clear the interview? Okay, so generally you get more calls if you have experience between 3 to 8 years. You get more calls. Okay, I suggest to keep maximum 3, not more than that, because you may not be in a position to clear the interviews if you keep more than 3. Okay, 3, 4 years is fine. Do we need to renew the certification? There's nothing like that. Once you are certified, you are permanently certified. No concept of renewal here. Do we provide any job assistance? Yes, guys. So I have tie-ups with some companies. So here now and then they keep asking me for resumes. Okay, for those people who are just trained on Pega. So they know that you are just trained and you don't have any real-time experience in Pega. So the interview will be at that level. And if you perform well in the interview, they will recruit you. Do we need to have any coding knowledge
Nikhila,
or one moment, let me complete the question. No. See, if you even look at the goal of Pega, okay, they say we are aiming for low coding or no coding tool. That is the aim of Pega. Okay, so Pega is a no coding or a low coding tool. So we are not going to write any kind of coding until and unless it's really not present in Pega and you have some complex requirement in your project. We don't really code in Pega. Yeah. Yes, Shashanka, only once we pay for the certification. It's not only one attempt. If you fail the certification, you can rewrite it again and again until you pass. But I think you in a year you can only attempt 3 times. I think so. I remember it's only 3 times in a year we can attempt the certification. Okay. Now let's keep a pause to the questionnaire here. Let's take it. Let's take the next things in here. Just a moment, guys. Just a second. I would like to stop my sharing once. Yeah. Okay, so just want to tell you that you are going to get the complete real-time exposure, because I'm going to tell you like how we work with Jira, Rally, ALM, how Scrum calls happen, how do we get tasks. Okay, everything is going to be taught to you as a part of the practical program. Okay, complete real time, because I told you, right, I have all of your people in mind. Maybe I don't remember your names, but I remember from what background you are coming, and what requirement you are having. I have all that in mind. So keeping that, I'll be giving you from the very basic level to the advanced level. Now, people who are already working on Pega might be feeling like this may not suit you. Okay, but no guys, it's a wrong decision. Okay, because down the line, after 50% of the project is training is completed, then you will see the complex things coming up. Okay, maybe activities, report definitions, but I'm going to teach you in n number of ways to use them. Similarly, soap, rest, listeners, all these things, I'm not going to tell you like how to use them. I'm going to tell them with some complex real time requirements. Okay, so this is for both categories of people who know Pega and who don't know Pega as well. Okay, now pause your questions. I want to take the next things, then we'll resume with the questionnaire. Now, this is something we have already covered in the demo session, but because the training is starting today, I want to again start with the same thing. Okay, so that you remember, and then we'll go ahead with the next of the topics in the course content. Yeah, maybe some of you don't hold the course content. I'm just going to update the template. Okay, and I'll share it to everyone by Saturday. I'm going to share it. Okay, now let's start with what is Pega. See, Pega is basically a tool which is completely built on Java. Okay, so Pega is a product which is built on Java. Okay, so you use Java to build multiple web applications, right? Similarly, using Java, somebody has built a tool itself, a platform itself, that is called as Pega today. Okay, now do I need to know Java to work in Pega? Not necessary, guys. Okay, do you know the code behind Windows to work on Windows? Do you know the code behind Notepad and Excel and PowerPoint to work on them? You don't know, right? Do you know the code behind WhatsApp and Instagram to work to what you're doing on them? No, right? Similarly, you have to learn Pega. You don't know, it is not necessary for you to learn Java or HTML to understand how Pega is built and all that. It's not necessary. Okay, just learn Pega tool. That is enough for us. Now, see, wherever you will design any screen or logic in Pega, in the backend Java and HTML code is generated. Now, can I edit the Java and HTML code? No, you can't edit. Okay, they are generating their code for their own purpose. You can't go and update that, edit that, delete that, all such kind of things you can't do. Okay. Now, as a Pega developer, you are not going to write any single line of code in Pega. It's a no coding tool or a low coding tool. And as I told you, Pega is just a tool or a platform to build projects. So this is not database like Oracle, SQL Server and all. This is not any language like your C++, Java. Okay, this is not any operating system. It's a platform, guys, where we build applications. We build mobile applications and web applications. Okay, now it's a leading BPM tool in the market. What is BPM? I'll talk about it in the next few minutes. Now we say that we can build applications 12 times faster than the traditional coding. Okay, suppose it takes 12 years to build a project in Java, it will take 1 year to do it in Pega. Okay, 12 times faster than the traditional coding is what we do here. How come it is that faster? Everything is built in. You just need to learn the tool to complete your project. That's it. No single line of code. So no defects. No, everything is readily available. You can just do it and deploy it. That's it. And which is the company who owns this product? Pega Systems is the organization who owns this product, and Ellen Teffler is the CEO of this company. Okay, so you have Pega Systems office in Hyderabad in Mindspace. Those who stay in Hyderabad, I know we have in Mindspace the Pega Systems office, guys. Okay, so this is about PRPC, and the full name of Pega is PRPC, which is called as Pega Rules Process Commander. Okay, we call it as Pega but the actual name is PRPC, Pega Rules Process Commander. Now, what type of applications are built on Pega? I told you we generally build web applications and mobile applications. Now, are we going to build something like WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, Amazon, Myntra? No, we are not going to do that. Is Pega not suitable to build those kind of applications? It's not worthy to build those kind of applications on Pega. Okay, let's say for example, it's like see, just a funny example. Let's say you're opening a small shop. Okay, do you call big celebrities for that? Like any big Tollywood, Bollywood celebrities for that? There's no point in calling them, right? Same way, guys, Pega is like a very big celebrity. Okay, there's no point in building shopping applications or social collaboration applications for Pega. Okay, Pega has a different purpose. Okay, so it is basically used to drive the businesses. It is basically used to solve the major problems of the industry. Okay, so is Instagram solving any major problem? Is WhatsApp solving any major problem? Yeah, it's a good thing. Like we people are interacting, we are sharing updates, we are sharing photos, videos. It's a good thing, but that is not the problem of the industry, right? It's not a problem of the industry. Let's say, for example, I apply for insurance. Okay, now if this insurance takes me 1 month to get approval, by the time either my surgery will be done and I have to pay out of my pocket, or waiting for the insurance approval, maybe my issue will it'll prolong and I'll run into more major issues, or somebody might even expire by the time. So that's a major problem of the industry. You have to timely give insurance to the patients, right? That's a problem. Similarly, take claims processing. Now I'm using HSBC or HDFC Bank. Okay. Now let's say for example somebody has stolen my card and they have taken some 1 lakh rupees from the card. Now I raise a complaint. Somebody says they can't hear me. One moment. Hey, you should be able to hear me. Venu, others are able to hear. Can you please cross check once? Okay, awesome. So whenever I raise a complaint to HDFC or HSBC Bank, I expect a quick response, right? So I expect them to quickly block my card, expect them to claim a police complaint and refund my money within 48 hours or 72 hours. That's a customer satisfaction, or that's how you treat your customers, right? That makes you grow your business, right? So we want things. These are the major problems of the industry, guys. Similarly, I worked in a project where we were paying salaries to the employees of the organization. Is it not important to pay salary to an employee by 30th or 31st before the first of every month? It's a major problem, right? If you don't pay it, it's not good. So we have to pay. So I was in a Pega project where we were paying salaries to the employees. There, I was in a Pega project where we were dealing with some legal case proceedings. Okay, so like this, there are many major problems in the industry which we need to solve within the short time span. Okay, to satisfy the customers and to grow yourself in the market and to grow with the growing demands of the industry. So these are the places where we use Pega, guys. Okay, so we don't use Pega for building something like Amazon or Myntra or Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp or something like this. Okay, we use Pega in areas where we have the major problems of the industry. Okay, so most of the Pega applications are intranet applications. You know internet applications, right? Google, internet. YouTube, internet. Internet means everybody can access them. Wherever you are, you can access it. Intranet means within the company's network only you can access it, right? So let's say, for example, um, you go to KFC. Okay, so the person who is sitting in front of the reception, they'll take your order and they will give you the food, right? So the application that KFC guy is using, it is intranet. Can he come home and use that application? No, right? Only when he's sitting in his office, he will use that. Go to Domino's. They have some application to take your orders and take your bill and all that, right? Those are all intranet applications. Similarly, take a insurance company. their customer support representative will get a call that, hey, I want insurance. This is my insurance number. Can you please process it? Now this customer support guy is going to open some application, process the insurance for his customer. That's an intranet application. Go to a bank, request for a loan. They'll open some application and they'll process your loan. That's an intranet application. Can this bank employee come home and open that application? No. Only within the company network you can use them. Okay, so like this, all the applications built on Pega are intranet, so you can't get them on internet. Most of the times we are only intranet, and they are used by the employees of the same company. Okay, outside people can't use it. You, me, and others can't use it. Only the employees of the company will be using those applications. Okay, now why Pega? Very simple answer, guys. World is moving towards automation. We want things to be done as early as possible because we want to be the first one in the market. Okay, there are many online, payment apps, right? You have Paytm, you have Google Pay, you have Phone Pay. There are n number of applications available in the market. But the one who comes into the market first is going to grab most of the market's attention, right? Similarly, why are we using Pega? Because my clients want their applications to be the first one in the market. Okay, they want to grab more audience, they want to grab more kinds, they want to satisfy the customers as early as possible. Okay, so that is the reason we are using Pega, because Pega gives you 12 times more faster applications. Okay, and we don't want developers to come, sit, code, then debug, then fix their defects, then deploy. That is all reduced because everything is built in Pega. Okay, so that is the reason we are using Pega, because most of the things are built in and you can quickly build and deploy the projects. Okay, and what is BPM? As I'm telling you, Pega is a BPM tool. Okay, there are a lot of BPM tools in the market. Now, what exactly is BPM? Actually, BPM is a methodology. What is methodology? Just a practice, right? See, there are people from different religions. Okay, you have different practices, right? Different ways of food habits, different ways of rituals, different ways of doing everything. Similarly, even in industry, we have different methodologies. Okay, BPM is one methodology. So the tools that follow BPM best practices, we call them as BPM tools. Pega is one such tool which follows BPM's best practices. So we call it as a BPM tool. Now, what are BPM's best practices? BPM says that your entire application should be flow driven. I hope you know flows. Is there anyone who doesn't know flow? Flow means just a shape, network of shapes, a connection of shapes. Okay. Is there anyone who don't know flow? Okay. We will be working on flows down the lane. So BPM says that your entire project should be flow driven. Okay. Pega is completely flow driven. The way you design your flows, the same thing end user is going to experience. Okay, suppose in my flow, the first one is a screen, and user will see a screen. In my flow, second one is a validation, and user will experience validation. In my flow, third one is some code, and user will execute the code in the backend. In the fourth shape, I kept some screen, again, end user will see the screen. So what you design in the flows and what your end user experiences is just a replica of what you design in the flow. So BPM tools means they should have flows and the entire project is completely driven by the flows. Okay, so that's what they say, and that's how Pega works. So Pega is a BPM tool, and they also have some criterias, guys, like we should be able to design once and use anywhere, hardware independent. You should be able to do deployment, reporting, integrations, everything. So like that, BPM has a lot of best practices, and because Pega is satisfying all those, we call Pega as a BPM tool in the market. Okay. Now, what is the other BPM tools means? I told you IBM BPM, Lombardi, Appian, all these are BPM tools in the market. They are way behind Pega. Future of Pega and opportunities I have already discussed in the beginning of the session. Coming to the architecture, this is not the technical architecture or logical architecture. General, system setup kind of architecture is one. Technical architecture I'll explain you in the next session. Okay, so Pega supports only Windows, Linux, and Unix operating systems. Generally, we use SQL, Oracle, DB2 databases to store data of the application. We need Java because Pega is built on Java, right? So without Java, Pega will not work. And because we are building web applications, we need servers like Tomcat, WebSphere, Oracle, WebLogic, all these things. And finally, Pega tool. So in order to work on Pega on your system, you need these things. You need Pega software, you need server, you need Java, you need database, you need OS. In the software zip file that I have given you, everything is there and everything will be installed in a single click if you follow the instructions of how to install that I have given you. Okay. So post installation, you should see 3 icons on the desktop like this: startup, login, shutdown. Startup will start the Tomcat server. Login will open the login page in a browser. Please use Chrome preferably. Shutdown is used to shut down the Tomcat server. And along with this, you also get a database. I will teach you database in the later sessions. Okay. And of course, you're installing it on the OS, right? So this is what is here. Any questions so far, guys? So somebody is asking me, as it is a no coding or low coding tool, how do you build an application on Pega? Everything is built in Pega. Okay. Suppose if you're dealing with the user interface, I want to keep a button. I want to keep a calendar icon. Calendar icons, buttons, URLs, drop downs, all these are readily available. You just drag and drop it and your screen is ready. Now, how about validations and the rest of the functionality in the code and all? You have hundreds of functions, hundreds of methods readily available. You just learn how to call that function, how to call that method, capture the outputs. That's it. Okay. Now, how do you work on real time?
So there is no database connectivity, Nikhila.
Please say.
There is no database connectivity and all to Pega tool to some database.
As mentioned, we connect to a database, right? Otherwise, how can we store
No
data?
need to write any queries or.
No, you have to write queries. You have to, but we
I
do
thought that's
basic
a
stuff only.
queries
We do very
also built
basic
in
stuff.
Pega.
Okay, now don't be scared because we are going to interact with database. Very basic. Select, insert, update, delete. Not more than that you are going to write. Okay, very basic things you are going to write. You're not going to write any stored procedures, all that kind of things you are not going to do. We have a separate DB team with any such complex things. They are going to take care of it. What you do is very basic: select, insert, update, and delete only.
Hey Nikhila, Rohit here.
Hey Rohit.
So while installing, we saw Postgres database. So
Right.
Pega uses Postgres as backend database.
So whenever
Or
you're going with personal edition, they give you PG SQL, PostgRE SQL database. Okay. But in real time, you can use PG SQL, you can use Oracle, DB2, SQL Server, your choice. Whatever you want, you can connect. Similarly, by default, you are getting Tomcat server now. In real time, whatever application server you want, you can use. You can change it. Okay. So as per the business requirements, people choose whatever they want in real time.
okay, got it. Thank you.
So one more pending question. So somebody's asking me here. So do we also start server in real time? I was about to say that. So in real time, Pega is installed on a server machine. Okay. So they only give you the URL to log in. Suppose I joined a new company. Okay. Now my lead or my manager or my teammate is going to give me a URL and say, hey, this is the place where your application is there. So you will hit the URL. They will give you username and password to log in into your application. You will log in. So in real time, you people will not see this startup, login, shutdown icons. This will be maintained by admin team. Okay, admin team will do startup logins and shutdowns. You people will just hit the URL, log in, log off. That's it. Okay, you have nothing to do with these things in real time. Now, do we get to know about various scenarios you experience in a project? Yes, guys, you are going to get to know all those things, and you're going to experience that as well, because when you do practicals, you will also run into issues, right? So all that you are going to learn. Will BA choose which server and database? BA is just only responsible for understanding the requirement from the client and sharing it to the technical team. BA doesn't have any technical knowledge about your servers or databases or anything. Okay. So BA is just a middleman between you and client. Client will say, hey, I need a screen like this, like this, like this. BA will write down the requirement, give it to the technical team. That's it. Okay. So BA don't know anything about servers, databases, Java, no, nothing. They don't know anything like that. They are non-technical people. Okay. So your tech team is going to decide that, your admin team is going to decide that. Generally, admin team will decide that which server, which database, and all these things. Okay. Any other questions? Currently, we are using 8.5.1 as you see on my screen. Okay. As it is a 2-hour training, you can't see icons. I mean, like on your system, you're not able to see the icons, or on my system. Here, do you see? I'm just dragging and dropping it. Okay. So UI developer role in Pika. What is your question, Amjad? I didn't get your question. Okay. Please complete your question, Amjad. I didn't get it completely. So with your question, we'll pause it and we'll move to the next one. Guys, please install the software that I have given you. If you use a different version of Pega, some of the options or some of the icons may not be similar between my screen and your screen. So you will be constantly asking me, Nikhila, I don't see this on my screen. Then I have to get on a screen share and I have to, explore, and I have to tell you, which is going to cause a great inconvenience to everybody in the session. So please make sure use the same version that I am using. If you have any other version, kindly uninstall it and reinstall the version that I have shared. Okay, somebody got unable to connect to database error. In that case, please make sure you don't have any other existing database in your machine or existing Java in your machine. Okay, if you have that, this issue will come. Okay, you can see just now I clicked on startup. It is trying to start my server. Now after some time you will see a message here, server starts in this many milliseconds. Okay, you can wait for that, or you can just go and click on login. I'm just waiting for the login page to come. So in real time, they will just give you this URL. You will hit the URL and you will log in. There's no concept of startup and shutdown. Okay, because that will be installed on a server machine, not on your personal laptop, right? So Amit, okay. do one thing, Amit. Just download PG SQL. Okay, Google for PG SQL. Download it. Okay, and try installing Pega once. Try that way. If it doesn't work, I'll get on a screen share. Venu, you're
Nikhila, it is
facing.
working, Nikhila. Last time you asked me to actually download PGSQL, and it worked, Nikhila.
Right. See, Venu, sorry. One second. Somebody is facing audio issue. So do the same way, guys, like Ramesh told you. Amit, just download PG SQL. Okay, Ramesh, you didn't connect to PG SQL, right? You just downloaded it and you installed Pega, right?
No. What I did, Nikhila, so when we're installing Pega, so you have a port number, right? That port
Right.
number, so while creating a database in PGSQL, you have to actually give a port number. So it automatically, you can see all PCPR tables in the PGSQL. Last
Okay,
time
so
you told
this
me
guy
that.
has a different issue. He
I
is not
forgot.
able to install Pega.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so when you just, sorry, not Venu, who's this? Amit, just try this way. Just download PG SQL and then try to install Pega and see. If you're still facing the issue, we will try to connect and resolve it. Okay, and before you reinstall Pega, make sure in C drive you don't have folder PRPC Personal Edition. Okay, so how to uninstall Pega? Just go to the drive where you have installed it, like C drive. You'll see a folder PRPC Personal Edition. Shift delete, then reinstall it. Okay, that's the process to uninstall Pega. So how do we know startup is done so that we can open the login page? You will generally find a message here, guys, like server starts in milliseconds, a message will come. You have to keep watching for that message. So instead of keep watching like that, see, I click and I wait like this. Okay, let it start. In the meanwhile, let's go ahead with the next topics in the course content. I will share you the course content template by Saturday, guys. I have plans to update it. So now let me take the next one. Pausing my screen for a second. Guys, any questions, feel free to ask me, okay? Any layman question, don't feel bad. Feel free to ask me, that's okay.
Nikhila?
Those who haven't
Suresh,
installed Pega, please install Pega by this Sunday, because if you have any issues, I will resolve it over the weekend. Again, on weekdays, even I may be a little busy. So please install it by this Sunday. Yeah, we will do that, Koteshwara. I'll tell you. Once we complete operators and all, I'll tell you the difference between LDAP things and then. Sujit, for those who have already enrolled for the training, I have given the software on WhatsApp. There is a zip file I have shared. Okay, that is the software. If you didn't get it, let me know, or just check whether I have already shared you or not. It is like 1186 something dot zip. A zip file I have shared. Shravi, I didn't get your question.
Madam, madam,
Yeah, please tell me.
madam, if you have the exam in our laptop also, we can't work with the database, madam, in Pega.
What is exam?
Means
I'm not.
already I have laptop. I have the exam, madam, database exam in our laptop.
I never heard of it actually. Okay, see if you have any other DB in your machine, you can't work on it. If possible, try to uninstall
Okay.
it. If not, when you're
Okay, ma'am.
installing, there is a place where you give the port numbers. Click on test connectivity there. If the port is not
Okay, ma'am.
available for database, change the port number and install and see it should work.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. So, okay guys, now let's start with the next topic. Okay, so looks like I ran into some issue. It's not starting Pega. Let me wait and see. In the meanwhile, okay, guys, if somebody is facing late login issue, okay, if there's any late login issue, or if you're not getting the login screen, you're getting some error on the screen, there's a small fix to that. Okay, I'll text you on WhatsApp what you need to do. Okay, if you do that, it will work. Okay, post the session, I'll text you how to fix it. Right, not only Kafka folder, there are a few other things that we need to delete. So I'll just share you that. Okay. Now, please pause your questions, guys. No messages as well in GoToMeeting. As I told you, it will distract me. Okay. Please pause the questions. After this, we'll talk again. So the next topic that we are going to discuss is operators in Pega. Okay. So immediately after you hit the Pega URL, okay, the first thing that it is going to ask you is username and password to log in into the Pega application. Now, what is this username and password? It is nothing but an operator ID created for you in the Pega tool, right? So now I want to log into Gmail. What do? I go and register myself. I have an operator ID created for myself in Gmail. So now I use that username and password to log in, which means that in Gmail database, my first name, my last name, my country, my time zone, my phone number, XYZ information about me is stored in the database along with my username and password, right? Same thing happens in Pega. Okay, suppose you want to log in into Pega, somebody has to do the registration part for you. Okay, like in Gmail, Facebook, and all these things, you don't get register here link. Here what happens is, suppose I'm new to a project, I just joined the company. Now my lead came and said like, hey, this is the URL to log into the application. So I hit the URL. It may or may not ask me username and password because in companies we have single sign-on. I'll talk about single sign-on later. Now when I have the URL, I have to give username and password, right, to log in. Now who did the registration for me? Maybe my lead, maybe my other teammate, maybe my manager. Somebody is going to create a operator ID and password for you. Somebody is going to fill your first name, last name, email ID, phone number, Mr., Mrs., this is our name, all these things. Somebody is going to fill it, and somebody is going to create an operator ID and password, and they're going to give you, hey, this is the URL, this is the username, this is the password. Please log in into the application. This is how they are going to tell you when you go into a new project in real time. Okay, so what is an operator ID? Operator ID is nothing but a username and a password that is used to register or log in into Pega. So any user who is having access to Pega application, they are called as operators of Pega. I am a Pega operator because I am logging in, I'm working on Pega. All of you are Pega operators because you are logging in and working on Pega. Okay, so a Pega operator can be a developer, a tester, a BA, a Scrum Master, a manager, a pharmacist, a customer support representative. Anybody who is using Pega, they are operators of Pega, irrespective of your role in the company. You're logging into Pega, then you're an operator of Pega. That's it. Now, where is this operator ID information stored in the Pega tool? See, Pega is only a development tool, guys. Pega doesn't store data. Then where is the data stored? Database. Data is always stored in the database, right? So we have databases like Oracle, PG SQL, SQL Server, whatever database is your project using, they will have the database. Now in that database, Pega has some default OOTB tables. OOTB means built-in, out of the box. Okay, there is a default table called as PR_operators. Please remember this name. This is very important from your interview point of view as well as for your day-to-day work. As a Pega developer, you should know this. Okay, PR_operators is a table where the operators information is stored in Pega. Okay, suppose I want to see how many people are using my application. Go and query PR_operators table, you will see. You will see the first name, last name, email ID, time zone, everything you will see there. Okay, so PR underscore operators is a table where your operator's information is stored in Pega. Okay, now, so it stores all the information, professional information, personal information, everything will be stored. Okay, so this is about operators in Pega. Once my application is up, I want to show you how it looks on the screen. Okay, I'll show you in the next session then. Okay, so operator ID, any person who can access Pega is called as operator ID, and it will store all the personal and the professional information. And PR underscore operators is the most important table because this is the table which stores your operators data. In the next session, I'll show you where you can see operators in the Pega screen, and as well as I'll show you the operators in the DB table. For today, only theory. Okay. Now, what is an access group in Pega? Before we know what is an access group, first we need to understand what is the requirement to have an access group. Now I said I'm an operator of Pega. Okay. There are hundreds of Pega projects in my company. Are you going to get access to every single project? No. When you join a company, you are allocated to only one project or two projects, right? You're supposed to access only those two projects. Why are you going to access all the projects which are there in your company? You will not access that, right? So how do you control the access of a developer? Like this developer should work only on this project. Another developer should work on another project. Somebody should work on 3 projects. Somebody should work on 5 projects. So how do you maintain that is the first question. Second question is, developer should see coding portal. Manager should see a portal where reports and all these things are there. Scrum Master should see something else. Tester should see something else. End user should see something else, right? See, if I'm a developer of Gmail, I'll see the code of Gmail when I log in into Gmail. If I'm an admin of Gmail, I'll see a different screen of Gmail. If I'm an end user of Gmail, only inbox, sent items, draft items, trash, and all this. I'm a tester of Gmail, I'll see something else. Like this, everybody of us are using the same application, Gmail, but your role is different. Some people are developers, some are testers, some are managers, some are admins, some are DBAs, something else. So although it is same application, the screen that you see on login differs, right? So you need to decide what screen they have to see. You need to decide what applications they can access. Okay. Suppose you register into Gmail. The same Gmail credentials you can access YouTube, you can access Google Docs, you can access Google Business. So there are many Google products that you can access with your Gmail ID, right? Which means you have to decide which all applications this person can access with this username and password. What screen he can see upon logging in. So where do you decide all that? That is decided in something called as access group. Now how is access group used? Let me tell you. First look at this. Access group gives you application level control. Means in the access group we will mention what application you can access. Now I am a new developer to this project. Now my lead has to give me access to the application. What will my lead do? She will map me to some one application. Okay, fine. Now let me tell you the problem once. So Nikhila is new to a project. Okay. Now she has to get access to one project called as, suppose I have to get access to a project called as Gmail. Okay. Now I have to get a developer screen upon logging in. Okay. So these are the two requirements my lead had. Whenever I create an operator for Nikhila, she should see only the Gmail project and she should see developer screen upon logging in. Fine. Now my lead will do this for me. Now let's say, for example, next month, 10 new developers joined. Okay. Let's say we have, okay, something like this. Okay. Hundreds of names, keep going. There are a lot of people who join like this. Okay. Now some of them are developers. Okay. Some of them are admins. Now this person is a tester. Okay. Again, this guy is a developer. Okay. This guy is a manager. Okay, so like this, n number of people joined and everybody has a different purpose. Now my lead has to think, right? Okay, this person is an admin, then I should give him Gmail project, but he should say admin screen. Now this person is a tester. Okay, that's fine. Then he should say Gmail project. Okay, and he should say end user screen for testing or testing screen. Let's say it's a testing screen. And developer, again Gmail project development screen. This person has to see. Okay, this guy is a manager. I'm just trying to show you the problem, then I'll tell you the solution. Okay, and this guy is a manager, so we have to give him manager screen. Okay, now fine, you have 10 developers, so you did all this sorting for you. Okay, fine. Now somebody left the company, you have to delete the access for them. Again, somebody joined or somebody got promoted. Now, is it not difficult every time somebody joins, somebody leaves, somebody gets promoted? You have to think what project, what role, what project, what. It's quite difficult, right? And let's say, for example, suddenly they said that all managers should also get developer screen, or they said all managers should also get testing screen. Now you have to update all the managers again, right? So this is a redundant task and it's like hectic. There are chances you might make mistakes sometimes. Okay, so to avoid this, to simplify this, what we do is we create access groups. Now what is the benefit of access group? The benefit of access group is in an access group we mention what application this person should access and what all screens, nothing but portals he can see. Okay, so now what is the benefit with this? Let's say, for example, I created an access group called as Gmail called admin. Now in this, I'll mention the application name as Gmail and I'll say he should see admin portal upon logging. Now, in my project, there are 10 admins. Assume that there are 10 admins. So for all these 10 admins, in the operator ID, I will give Gmail admin access group. Okay, there are 25 developers. Okay, so let's say we have another, access group for developers. So the access group for developers was Gmail colon dev team. And inside the access group, we gave the application name as Gmail and we said they should see dev portal. Now give this to all the 20 developers. Okay. Then we had another access group for managers, Gmail colon managers. And within the access group, we said they should access Gmail access group and they should get dev portal, they should get admin portal, they should get manager portal. Just for example, I'm saying, okay. So now you give this to the managers. Okay, now what is the best part with this? Suddenly I got a requirement saying that, hey, manager should no longer have dev portal. Now I'll just go and I'll remove this from the access group. Now for all the 3 managers, dev portal will be automatically removed. Again, they told me, hey, developer should have admin portal going forward. I'll add it here. Now all the 25 developers will automatically get admin portal. Okay, so every operator will have something called as access group. In access group, we will maintain what application he can access and what screen he can see. Okay, I just want to open Pega and show you that. Okay, give me a moment, guys. Just a second. I'll stop my sharing. If you visually look at the things, you'll understand it better. So I just want to open and show you all that. One moment. See, whenever you have issue with Pega, okay, you're not able to go to the login page or you're getting some error on the login page. I mean, like login page is not loading. Okay, in that case, what you have to do is just go to PRPC Personal Edition. You see a folder called as temp. Oh, one moment. Before that, you have to do a shutdown. Shut it down first. Let it open. In the meanwhile, I just want to visually show you how operators and access groups are connected. So this is one operator. This is another operator. Okay. This is another operator. Okay. Now let's say this is an access group. This is another access group. Okay. So here you can write it. Okay. So all these people are operators. Okay. This is how we do. So the best part with this is if you change here, all the users will be impacted. Add a new portal, delete a new portal, add a new application, delete a new application. It will impact everyone. Okay. So operators will have access group, which will tell you their application name and which portal they can see upon logging. That will be maintained here. Okay. Is my PRPC shut down? Let me again kill it once again. It ran into some issue. Okay. So anytime if you get any issue while opening Pega software, okay, like you're not able to see the login screen or something like that, just go to PRPC Personal Edition folder, temp. Make sure your PRPC is shut down by this time. Okay. Delete. Now get inside Tomcat. You will see something called as temp. Delete. Please don't delete the folders. Delete something inside this. Now get inside Kafka data. Okay. Just delete it. That's it. Just delete these 3 folders. Come back. Okay. I just clicked on shutdown so that if there are any instances of Tomcat running, they'll be killed. Now do a startup. It will take some time to start because you deleted a lot of cache and everything, right? So it will take some time to start. But this time you will see the login screen. Okay, so just give it some time. It will start and you will be able to see the login screen. Once it is up and running, I'll show you the operators, access groups and everything. Any questions so far on operators and access groups? Okay. One important thing you need to understand about operators and access groups is, did you see this n number of users are using the same access group? Okay. So by chance or by mistake, you deleted something here or you added something here. Okay. It will impact every single user. Please be careful because this happened in my real time. Somebody, okay, who was new to the team, he went to the access group. He simply deleted dev portal for us. Okay, so none of the developers were able to see the development portal. If we don't get the development portal, how can we do the coding? None of us were able to do because he updated the access group. Okay, so please be very careful when you're updating the access group. It is going to impact every single person who is tagged to the access group, not just you. Okay, that guy was doing some testing. He didn't want development portal, so he removed it from the access group. Okay, you can't remove it for a single person that way, guys. If you touch the access group, it's going to impact everyone. Okay, so he could have created a dummy operator ID and created a dummy access group, and he could have done that requirement instead of touching a access group which is mapped to everyone. Okay, I'm just telling you because so that you don't make these kind of issues in real time.
Hi, Nikhila.
Hello.
In real time, the access group can be seen by all the developers or only manager?
No. Actually, only development team can see and admin team can see. Managers,
Okay.
Testers, BAs, all these guys are non-technical people, right? So for them, we don't show the access groups, operators, wherever this code and logic is lying, they can't see all that.
Okay.
Now you can see my home page is up and running. I got the login page of Pega. Okay, and default credentials to log into Pega, because you still did not create any project in Pega, right? So you don't have any operator ID and password to log in. So this is the default credentials to log into Pega, any version of Pega, Pega 5, Pega 6, Pega 7, Pega 8, any version, default credentials, administrated.pega.com, install, 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 login.
Nikhila, you said the person has deleted the dev portal. Can't we give the access rights to that to those users where they cannot delete it, something like that?
Yeah, that's what we are
Pega?
doing now. Actually, developers don't have privileges to delete, update, and do such things in access groups. That was some project where he was not restricted and he went and did it. So everybody lost access.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. See, this is the portal of Pega. We call this as Dev Studio or Developer Portal or Designer Studio. Okay, so this is the place where developers of Pega are going to work. Only developers will work here. Okay, this is the place only for development team. Now, we have different places for other people. I'll talk about it in the next few minutes or in the next session. First, let's complete operators and access group. I'll give you a walkthrough of the portal. I'll show you the portal of developers, managers, admins, end users. I'll show everybody's portal. Okay, as of now, this is development portal, the place where we are going to do the coding. Bottom left, you will see operator. Current operator means my operator ID profile. In your screen, you will see yours. Okay, whoever logged in, their operator ID, their access group will show in the bottom left. Just like in your Gmail, Facebook, Instagram, don't you see your profiles? The same way. You see in the top right, we see in the bottom left. Yeah, I cleared the cache, right? So it'll take some time for me to open the rules. Okay, don't worry about that. Now, just make this habit, guys. Whenever you open anything in Pega, please look at the top first. Make a habit of this. Okay, this will tell you what is this rule type. So right now I opened operator ID. Okay, because I see many people, they behave like lame, and when I ask what did you open, they don't know what they opened. Look at the top. You opened operator ID. Okay, so please make a habit that you have to look at the top to understand what rule it is. Operator ID. Okay, and what is this operator ID? Administrated pega.com. Okay, now what is present in an operator ID? I told you, right? Some basic personal and professional information, nothing. See, title, Mr., Mrs., and all that. First name, last name, your full name, your designation, your phone number, your email ID, access groups, your time zones and locales, your organization, division, unit, which team you belong to, your reporting manager, what skills you have, work use I'll teach in the later sessions, your business calendar, like what are the working days, non-working days, public holidays, your leave plans. When you're in leave, who is your substitute? Security, like you can change your password here. If you're using external authentication, you can keep it here. One moment, my system ran into some issue. Okay, right. Suddenly my system ran into some issue. Okay, so external authentication, I'll talk about it in the later session. If you want to ask the user to change his password in the next login, you can do this. Permanently disable the operator so that he can't log in any longer. You left the company, you left the project. We want to disable your operators because you should no longer have access to this. So we disable it. Okay. So these are the few settings that you see in an operator ID. Now, who creates this? Who updates this? Operator IDs are generally created by the lead in the team, or any of your other teammates, or admin team of your project. Okay, so whenever you go to a new project, either admin team or your lead or your other team members are going to create an operator ID for you. How will they create? I'll teach you practically. Okay, and as I told you, this information is all stored in the database in a table PR_operators. When we connect to the database, I'll show you in the next session. Okay, so here you can update it whatever you want, and you click on save. When you click on save, automatically it will be updated in the DB. If you click on delete, this operator will be permanently deleted. Okay, so this is operator ID. This is called as data instance. We don't call it as a rule. Okay, data instance means anything which is stored in the DB. Operator IDs are stored in the database, right? So we call it as data instances. Okay, now every operator will have something called as access group, like I showed you in the image here. Now, how many access groups can I have? As many as I want. Like this, I can add n number of access groups. Why do you need n number of access groups? There are multiple reasons. Maybe user 1 is a developer and maybe he is also a manager. So this person needs 2 access groups, Gmail call and dev team, Gmail call and managers. Or maybe user 1 is working in 2 different projects. One is Gmail, one is YouTube. So he will have Gmail call and dev team, YouTube call and dev team. So based on your requirement, you will add as many access groups as you want. Maybe you're pairing multiple roles in the same project, or maybe you're a part of multiple projects. Okay, So you can have one operator with multiple access groups. Now, if I have multiple access groups, how can I switch between the applications? Like I have Gmail access group, I have YouTube access group, I have Google Docs access group. How can I switch between multiple projects? Simple. Here you see application. Right now you can say this is the access group. Whichever radio button is selected, that is my current application. You can see current application is Pega rules. Now I want to switch to this application, DM sample. Simple. Go here. It's very slow. You will see an option switch application and you will see DM sample. You can just switch. Okay, again I ran into an issue. Okay. Anyways, we are almost at the top of the hour. So I'll just take this up in the next session, guys. Again, because again I have to clear cache and I have to fix it. Something went wrong suddenly. So just we'll continue this on next session. So just try to understand that every operator will have access groups and you can have n number of access groups. Okay. And you can switch between the applications in the dev portal based on whichever application you want to access. And operators are stored in a table called as PR underscore operators. Okay. And access groups, they contain application name and portal and roles. I'm yet to teach you this in detail. Okay. I'll take this in the next session. So as of now at a high level, just understand what is an operator, the relation between operators and access groups, and n number of access groups can be given to one operator. Because they ask you in the interviews, what is the relationship between operators and access groups? It's one to many. One operator can have many access groups. And what is the use of access group? To give application level control. Which project this person can access, we will control it in the access group. Okay. So any questions so far? I am going to continue on operators and access groups in the next session. We are not done with that. Okay. And next session is on Saturday at 8 a.m. IST, not tomorrow. Any questions so far, guys? Yeah, Venu, I will do that. I'm not done with access group to tell you about the questions, right? And one more thing, guys, not on every topic you can expect an interview question, right? No, there are n number of areas in Pega, where not everywhere people are going to ask you interview questions. Okay, even I saw this in previous batch. They asked me, what is the interview question on operators? What is the interview question on access group? What is the interview question? Not on every topic you get interview questions, guys. Okay, wherever there are interview questions, I'll surely tell you. Somebody is asking me, do we work only in Agile and Pega? Not necessary. You work on implementation model, waterfall model, there are other models also, but most of us are into Agile these days. Okay, Venu, got you. Sindhu, just ping me on WhatsApp once. I'll share you the software. Agile, waterfall, you don't need knowledge on all these things, guys. As you keep working, you will get to know about them. Okay, there is no big deal. It's just a process to do development and deployment. Okay, there's nothing to learn about it and do something. I'll explain you how waterfall works and how Agile works. Okay, there's nothing to go learn and do something on them. So that's it for today, guys. If you don't have anything, you can drop off. Within next 1 hour, I'll share you the recording as well as running notes in Google Drive. Okay, you can watch it and you can start working on it. Please install the software and keep it ready. Yeah, Venu, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Somebody is asking me the full form of OOTP. Out of the box, nothing but default, inbuilt. OOTP means inbuilt, existing, given by Pega. Okay. Okay, guys, then thank you so much. Have a nice day. See you again on the Saturday session. Now start learning about operators and access groups. Just Google what is an operator in Pega. Just Google what is an access group in Pega. See various blogs, learn what they are saying. Maybe you will find something more. Okay. Just don't only stick to the video and what I teach you. Explore. Okay, guys, then thank you so much. See you in the next session. Have a nice day. Bye bye.